Alright, so let's talk about Bayonetta 3. Bayo 1 came out in 2009 and Bayo 2 released in 2014, with this new one coming out 6 years later, and yeah, with some slight controversy with the change of a new lead voice actress, which we will get into a bit later. Is this game worth playing? Let's get into the overall summary, going over a bit of the story, gameplay, and then my final thoughts on who I think should be picking this game up. Let's get into it. It was developed by Platinum Games and published by Nintendo. It is currently only available on the Nintendo Switch, and it's going for $59.99 US. So, slight spoilers here. This is around the first 30 minutes to an hour of the game, but there's a lot going on here. So, feel free to skip ahead if you don't want to hear this portion. But the story begins with Bayonetta fighting a new type of enemy never before seen in the series. There are some characters hiding nearby, watching her and cheering her on when Bayonetta is defeated and ultimately dies. Yeah. Viola, one of the new characters that was watching, escapes using a device that transports her to our Bayonetta's universe. Yeah, apparently this is a gigantic multiverse game. So she contacts Bayo and explains that the new enemies destroying the universes are man-made homunculi, beings that have been created by an evil scientist who wants to rule over all of the other universes. So that's the beginning of the game. Bayo needs to find the scientists, gather chaos keys to interact with the other universes, and craziness ensues. Tons of giant set pieces in various environments and jumping between different characters, some being other Bayonettas. So how's the gameplay? If you've played the first two Bayonettas, then you'll feel right at home here. You have all of the basic attacks and maneuvers that she's had for a decade plus now. The game plays in chapter stages, which are split up into verses. Basically, verses are checkpoints within the levels. You'll be seeing some story, running around linear but open levels with secrets and challenges to find, then reaching combat encounters which then end the verse, and then you repeat until the chapter is over. Bayonetta has punch attacks, kicks, projectiles, and a dodge, which if timed correctly activates witch time. This slows enemies for a brief moment while you can freely move and deal major damage. You have access to 2 pistols at the beginning of the game, and then as the story progresses, you'll get new weapons like giant mortar launchers and spinning razor disc. They all have their own playstyles. Bayo can use gained experience and consumables to unlock new movement and combat mechanics for each weapon and demon summons. One new mechanic in the game is Demon Slave System. Basically, at any time during combat, with some restrictions depending on the level and the stage layout, you can use your magic meter to summon demons to help you fight. There's quite a few of them to choose from, and you'll be switching out and leveling them up throughout the story. They're pretty versatile, with you being able to simply control them directly, add them to combos, and even counter them. So that's basically Bayonetta 3 in a nutshell. Now, let's go into more of the nitty-gritty, the pros and cons, the things I really like about the game, and what are its main selling points. Okay, first of all, the controversy. Really quick, if you're not aware, the original voice actress of Bayonetta 1 and 2 was not hired on to voice this new game. Lots of stories and takes being said on both sides from the voice actress and Platinum Games. It seems to have come down to payment contracts, as well as her not, really playing ball with the developers, being really difficult to work with in general, etc. With that aside, the new voice actress has done a wonderful job here, and honestly, if you haven't even been paying attention to this drama and jumped into this game, you probably won't even notice the change. It's done really well here. The performance on the Switch, surprisingly good. There's a huge amount of action going on at all times. The changing scenery, tons of enemies, particle effects, your gigantic demons. It's amazing how stable they got everything here. It does hiccup very rarely, and I mean so rare that it didn't really affect my experience at all. The story, it's definitely elevated to much crazier heights. Instead of dealing with heaven and hell, fighting angels and stuff, you're dealing with the potential destruction of all the universes. I don't even know where they're supposed to go from here. I really love how they brought back past characters, and these new ones are pretty interesting. I'm specifically talking about Viola and the different Bayonettas you'll be playing as. The main feature of the new mechanic, right, the Demon Slave, it fits in seamlessly here. It feels like a natural progression of the combat system, and it's needed to take on not just these ground level street foes, but gigantic enemies and huge bosses. It makes for really intense moments. Besides combat, they're used for some variety segments where you're controlling and riding them, sliding around, jumping through lots of different buildings, using their unique abilities to traverse and platform. It's a nice switch up and really keeps things fresh. The sections in between the verses, the verse encounters are pretty plentiful here. There's a lot of collectibles to find and secret challenges to take on. They are really worth doing. Not only do you find some lore items that you can read up and get consumables to help you through the battles, but you get decorations for Viola's room. You can find permanent magic and HP buffs, and even unlock new paths and other stages to play on. Lots of replayability for completing specific tasks within levels, and getting high medal scores will keep gamers engaged for sure. There's even an online leaderboard for stage scores. The game itself, Oozes style. I recently played the first one, and Bayonetta 3 is right on point with the cinematics and music. Each cutscene is very entertaining, and yes, Bayonetta at times can be a little sexual for some people's likings. They've added a mode where it tones it down a bit if that's what you're looking for. I really like this game. I think this is not just a great sequel of the trilogy, but one of the best adventure beat-em-ups on the Switch. This game is very well done and deserves high scores overall. So yes, is this game worth playing for full price, $59.99? Absolutely. Let's see. For Bayo fans, it's a must play for sure. For those looking for just a good action game, it's all that and more. I would say maybe, a 10% discount would be perfect, but if you buy it at full price, I think it's going to be worth every penny. So that's it. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. It helps a lot. If you haven't already, please subscribe for daily videos. Let me know what you guys think down below about Bayonetta 1, the controversy, and all that. And if you're interested, I'm uploading my full playthrough on the Let's Play channel, link down below, and I'm streaming it on Twitch. I would love to see you guys there. Once again, link in the description. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.